Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the exciting, innovative, and amazing Propagandacast with your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero like defender of the fatherland. Off here to glorious and delicious, yes, delicious, 1v1 here on Road to Tunis. In the west it is Calyon fighting here for the Deutsches Afrika Korps. The German army is right here with the 10th Panzer Division here. In the east stands DarkAlric fighting here for the British Army, the Commonwealth, the 7th Armoured Division, the Desert Rats. Sitting out there with a double sapper start for extra capture and of course extra Mark II Stenser machine guns. Cartridge now Panzer Pioneer for Calyon, and as always a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters, wonderful people and all who keeps the Propagandacast running. Also, a big thanks to Mayor Bini for donating and supporting the Propagandacast with his hard-earned money. So, setting out in the west, we got the Cartridge and the Panzer Pioneer on a swift southern-bound advance. And the northeast, of course, similarly, Saps moving up, a bit of Bartwire around here. And just otherwise, Sappers. 3rd Panzer Pioneer squad here for Calyon. Very much popular in the Deutsches Afrika Korps meta game, as they are cheap and also fairly efficient for their course as infantry. You still see players that are going for Panzer Grenadiers, and some characters I think do fairly well with them, but the vast majority of players do prefer the Panzer Pioneer or the Berserkieri. Heading also for the Sappers. Bartwire and sandbags here by the heavy munitions point here, or high munitions point. 4th Panzer Pioneer squad here as the 10th Panzer Pioneer Abteilung is committed here to the fight, it would seem. 5th Panzer Pioneer Company. Panzer Pioneer sitting out there. Got the section caught by the Cartridge and backed up with the Panzer Pioneer. First shots fired here by the southern victory point here. Section pushing forwards to the Enfields, and of course the Webley revolver there tearing into the Cartridge, which of course quickly backs off, then tries to pursue the British forces against the point to heavy cover here. 4th Panzer Pioneer squad ready here for Calyon. No sign of battle group yet here for Calyon. We'll have to see what it is. I mean, it could still be 10 combined arms, but typically most players will go for it early on for the Berserkieri, so more likely Italian infantry, or could be armoured support here. We'll have to see. Northern points to cease for the Sappers. Again, not all though. I mean, you still see some players, for example, who go for the lot of Panzer Pioneer, then go for these two, but you also get players who go for Panzer Grenadiers, and then, you know, go for the Breda 30s for the Panzer Grenadiers. They also get the MD-34s and an extra light machine gun. So there are several parts you can take with the Italian combined arms. It's probably one of the reasons why it is such a popular battle group, though. You can really, like, do a variety of builds, and it can just still, like, augment it. So anyways, Cartridge is falling back in the face of section heavy cover. The motorbike is obviously not going to quite dislodge the British. In the center is where the vast majority here of Calyon's forces are currently in possession. Meanwhile, DarkAlric keeps pushing southwards, avoiding the hard center here of Calyon and the German army. Section here versus the Panzer Pioneer. Closing in here. Panzer Pioneer will have to retreat in the face of these sections, or they are going to have to risk getting wiped out. Northern munitions point here being seized. Panzer Pioneer moving about, and we got the Flammenwerfer 35 here ready. They were replaced with the Flammenwerfer 42 down the road. 41. Oh, wait, are those two numbers? Sappers here with flamethrowers as the Panzer Pioneer with the Flammenwerfers. Sappers there, though, routed, unable to withstand so much firepower from the Panzer Pioneer. We got the second counter-attack here from the south, catching the Panzer Pioneer in an awkward position there. And up north here, Sappers' Panzer Pioneer being surrounded here, though, by flamethrowers and Kar 90K bolt-action rifles. Things get hazy, and DarkAlric just pulls the Sappers out of there before they get sapped of any life force. Back here, we got the training center up here, and we got field infantry up as well there for DarkAlric. Panzer Pioneer being routed as the infantry section, of course, having none of that malarkey. Panzer Pioneer pursuing, but low on health here. And far south here, British forces are making great progress there as well, cutting off Calyon here from most of his resources. In fact, he's going to get a significant field advantage here over Calyon at this rate, which of course is going to be a problem for Calyon on several levels. We'll have to see what happens next. Maybe machine gun, assault grenadiers, and all blitz would of course be an excellent choice here, but no, instead we do get the mechanized company, likely looking to rush out the Stug D here versus the British, as in the DAK metagame. Stug Ds are very much a go-to choice to deal with a lot of infantry sections. As typically, if you go for anything else, you're just going to go for a lot of anti-tank rifles. In fact, they will all be going for anti-tank rifles now, at which point you need something that can absorb some of the penetration, force them into just deflection damage, and that is obviously going to be the Stug D. So, Panzerpionier heading out here. Also, fun fact about Panzerpionier, but in Panzer Division, similar to the Panzer Grenadiers, there would have been a few units equipped with armoured half-tracks and not just running along in trucks. And the Panzer Pioneers actually had their own special variant of the 250 half-track. One was the Pionierwagen, with some minor additions to them, typically small assault badges on the side, and I believe some of them actually had like 2.8cm guns on as well, basically the same gun as on the 221 there. The light anti-tank gun or heavy anti-tank rifle. Section here, running right past the Panzerpionier with the Flammenwerfer. Small chance of wipe here. Small chance, but only small. Not significant enough, I think, to be a massive threat here. Car pumping here, there, and really we just see DarkAlric is just dominating here versus Calyon, who's just struggling to keep up even with all these Panzerpionier. Could call in here assault mechanized group or Panzerjäger group, and there we go. The assault chaps out there, I believe. Yes, indeed, with the MP40s. We got the cartridge in the Veterans 1, and the section is taking an intense amount of damage here. If you catch up with the half-track, that'd be a good chance of wipe here. Tank Hunter section up with the boys, anti-tank rifles. Cartridge being fixed up here. There we go. Mark target. Anti-tank rifle takes a volley there. Down to just 2 men. Half-track pushing up to the fuel point to defend it from the Tommies. Just the assault here with the 7th Armoured Division continues to be rather intense here versus Calyon. Half-track's about to go up in flames. And there you go. Goes up in flames. 2 men lost there as they failed to get out in time here. Quite a blow there to Calyon. It could have been worse. It could actually lost the entire squad. Sappers there routed. Back at base here, we got nothing more going on. I would not be surprised if he hasn't researched here's the infantry training for the sections. Panzerpionier here versus section there. Close to the center. Flamethrowers is going to make this much more difficult to sustain here for DarkAlric. Southern fuel point claim there for the German army. Very important. So far, it's also worth noting we're not really seeing any tech here, so it's not impossible right now that DarkAlric is planning to go for armor, so that obviously creates some challenges and pressure here for Calyon, who's also lost a Panzerpionier squad by now. In fact, he might use more. We've got grenades to research, so very intense research here into the infantry with upgrades and whatnot. Certainly a strong indicator. He might be planning armor, but he could also still be Royal Indian Artillery because, you know, that's also really good with heavily upgraded sections. Cutting off northern fuel flow there, we got another Panzerpionier squad here for DarkAlric versus Calyon. But the pressure on the Germans here is fairly intense as the British just keep up here. There we go. Carve upon the retreat those assault grenadiers. They're on just 3 men. They're low on health. We do get a smoke grenade here. Attacking ground into it there. And yeah, that does force a retreat there. Heading for northern point there. Got research here done to unlock the Stug D. Also technically the 8-ton recovery half-track, but I don't think he's going to go for that. Like at the moment, the only thing he can recover would be the 250 half-track, and yeah, it's probably just cheaper to build the half-track than just recover it. Panzerpionier with lots of Flammenwerfers. In fact, all 3 of his Panzerpionier squads, except for the last one, he has been upgraded with the Flammenwerfer. And there you go, anti-tank grenade off with the cartridge and finally goes down. In a big ball of fire.
Commandant, the enemy holds all victory points.
MG34 here for Calyon to help deal with the British infantry, help contain the maneuvers here of DarkAlric and the 7th Armoured. Section being closed down with the Panzerpionier, just big flamethrower push here. Looks like he actually managed to pick up an additional flamethrower there. Probably from the one that got wiped, so that's the 2 flamethrower Panzerpionier squad. Also known as a really fun time for the Germans, less so for the British. MG34 almost done there for Calyon, got the center big C's to the sappers, wiring off the cover. And again, just note the way DarkAlric just plays the map. It just doesn't like focus on one side, and you know, crucially also just doesn't blob off. Despite having a fair amount, he's got like 2 sapper sections, and although he might have lost 1. And then, by the looks of it, 2 to 3, 4 sections, regular infantry. And we'll be moving into 5 sections of infantry, so... It's starting to look more and more here like, again, either Indian artillery or armoured. But the fact we're not seeing any tech like into Stuarts, Humbers, or anything like this, definitely to me tells me this is, you know, probably going to be armoured into Crusader anti-aircraft tanks. And then likely into the Churchill tanks or the Black Prince. Sabotage catching the Panzer Pioneer here, south. In the centre there, another assault going forward to the British forces. We don't actually see a lot of upgrades yet here, though, for them. Just got that one anti-tank rifle upgrade there, but I imagine once it sees the Stug D, we will likely see a rise in anti-tank rifles, since, well, again, one pair of anti-tank rifles won't do much, even the deflection damage. Say 5 sets of 2. That's going to be a bit of a threat to the Stug D, even under the best of circumstances. Pushing the being hauled towards the centre here. And there goes Sturmgeschütz 3 AS-5D ready here for Calyon. And we got the Marder 3 here. Probably at this point having pretty good idea what to expect. And so of course wants Marder to help deal with these Crusader anti-aircraft tanks. Up north here, soldiers of the sections here. Close, brutal fighting. But the problem is without like any significant count against 2 sections of veterans who won, there's really only one way to go, and that's back. Up north, you've heard of the section, Panzer Pioneer pushing in there. In the south, Panzer Pioneers, but the Stug D are looking to flash out the British forces in the south here. Gonna blast out those Tommies. Corporal there just bursts into fire there. Looks like, yeah, section got wiped here. Good wipe there. But now we do have the Crusader anti-aircraft tank out here for DarkAlric. At the same time, we do have the Marder 3 ready here for Calyon. Note, this is the early model Marder 3 using a converted Soviet anti-tank gun, specifically I believe the SIS gun, as an anti-tank weapon, as the Germans captured a lot of those, and they would convert a lot of them to using German ammunition. And would mount a lot of them on their Marders. But all just use them as some tank guns, particularly for like less high-grade divisions. So as we up towards even the machine gun here, caught out in the open, machine gun they will have to retreat here, Crusader tank from the north here, Marder there hiding about here in the ridges, and the machine gets destroyed here. Excellent kill here for DarkAlric, calls Marder flank here. The Crusader gets a good shot in there. A few penetrating Crusader through the thin armor of the Marder 3. Pursuing here, the Crusaders almost got it. One more shot, and that Crusader tank is gonna be crusading no more. Quickly racing through here the dusty roads of North Africa. Here we go into tank rifle sections nearby, though could wreck the Marder here, as is again, I stress, is not particularly heavily armored. There we go, getting flanked as well with the Crusader tank. Big mistake here, but I'm clear wasn't expecting that. And DarkAlric, of course, punishes Calyon here handy for that. In the center, infantry push here into the Panzer Pioneer, the Stug D. In the south, we got the second Crusader tank out here. Equipped, of course, with the Bofors anti-aircraft gun. Another Marder here for Calyon, because against all these Crusaders, he is going to need Marders. Section center being just burned and shot to bits here. Absolutely just mountains of British corpses piling up here. Much to the confusion of later archaeologists. Firing into the Stug D there. Shots bouncing off the frontal armor there. Stug D keeps up the pursuit. Is already veterans who won here. Another Marder out here. The Marder was a sort of, shall I say, interim solution to the fact they were lacking better tank destroyers in general, and so the Marders has just sort of appeared. They're using a variety of otherwise expired tank chassis to just mount anti-tank guns on them. These will service throughout the end of the war, even if I think production, most of them stopped around 1943. They managed to make a fair amount of them. So, little fun fact there about the Marders. Even more fun fact, the sort of concept actually sees a sort of resurgence towards the very end of the war with the Waffenträgers, or weapon haulers in a sense, which just mounted even larger anti-tank weapons on small chassis. So little fun fact there. Armoured support here though, ready for Calyon chosen. Got vehicle awareness, you get superior fire drills. We'll have to see what else happens. Flammenpanzer 3s, Panzerstorm likely, obviously gonna happen. Could it be battlefield salvage, the command tank? Could it be Stuka anti-tank loiters or Stuka dive bombs? All the way, Crusader rushing straight here for the flank of the Stu. D. Marder needs to move to assist. We also got mines here going up around Calyon's base. Clearly concerned about potential rush into his base with the Crusader tanks. Crusader into the Marder here. Good shot there, right through the frontal arm of the Crusader. Almost got the Crusader tank here in the center. Anti-tank section moving forwards here. We also got one set of Granadenbüchse here ready for Calyon. DarkAlric though continues to exert intense map control here. Tactical assault here would be a really good time thing. Oh, well, maybe not in front of the Crusader, actually. Marder push back. Yes, anti-tank rifles threaten the flank of the Marder there. We do actually have a second Marder out here for Calyon. Very good there. Less so for the British. Crusader tanks are being repaired up back at the base of DarkAlric. I would also not be surprised if we are getting some armor upgrades for them. In fact, probably have already there, so they get more damage on top of other things as they gain more veterancy. Seizing the southern points of the section, swiftly advancing here for the British Empire. And again, he's just locking down most of the map. And Calyon is definitely, I think, struggling to maintain the sheer flexibility he needs against the British, in particular the Crusader tanks. Makes it very difficult to harass, because if he sends out a unit on its own, the Crusaders will just overwhelm them and wipe them out. He could, in theory, try and set up a bait for that and trap in a Crusader, but that's going to be a tricky, I think, to achieve. Decent shot from the Stuke for the side armor here of the Crusader. Anti-tank grenade of the Stuke D. Marder's rapidly pursuing forwards here. One tank rifle into the sidearm of the Stuke D. Marder's moving up here, engaging the Crusader. Heavy damage being inflicted on it, almost got it. Stuke D there's about to get knocked out though. Can the Marders get the Crusader tank? Section about to get wiped out here. So much going on, and there we go. Wipes the section. Almost got the other section here. But the Stuke D is left burning. A significant blow here to Calyon, as now he has less tool to deal with all the infantry that DarkAlric does keep tossing at him. And he's going for a third Marder here, forming up a small Marder platoon. Section is the Panzer Pioneer here. Panzer Pioneer is going to flank from several sides. Anti-tank rifle firing off. Marder slowly moving up. Third Marder almost done. And we got battlefield salvage, which provides him with 200 manpower, 30 fuel for every vehicle kill. A powerful ability in the right circumstances. And I think my currently best bet, if you want to go for something like with armored support here, you definitely want to be using battlefield salvage to get you more fuel and manpower, just push into those big upgrades. Meanwhile, south here, Crusader tank push back the Panzer Pioneer here in the center. British push going forwards here. I need some support for those assault grenadiers against all these anti-tank sections. And there go another anti-tanks and catching the Marders here, pushing that back. Third Marder ready, but no Stugs. No Panzers. I mean, I suppose in a pinch you could go for the Flamm Panzer III, but I don't think Calyon is inclined towards that. But he could. He could. Bit cheap on fuel, but notably more expensive in manpower. Marder's meal being repaired here. Crusader tank rushing towards the center.
Victory point lost.
Panzer Pioneer in the section in the south there. Easily outnumbered and outgunned. The Panzer Pioneer just need to retreat here. They're too low to help to fight against the section there. In addition, the second Panzer Pioneer squad with the combined arms bonus active though just prove quite helpful there. But all three points under control of the British here. This is a real threat here to Calyon. I need to do something soon. Even got his carp on there being hit again by more harassment from DarkAlric. His Crusader tank charging forwards right into the triple Marders here. Someone is clearly feeling pretty confident. There you go. We got battlefield salvage here. Could he take out the Crusader tank here? Almost got it. One shot there, missed. Got 24 health points left on the south. There's still another Crusader tank here. And Calyon swiftly moves the other March towards it, racing in there, not slowing down. Almost got a Marder here. A Crusader tank knocked out here with the Marders. There you go. Goes up in flames, scores him a fat amount of manpower and fuel. And immediately calls in another assault grenadier squad here. Calyon and the 10th Panzer Division here on the offensive, charges in with the Marders here, hoping to take out the other Crusader tank and maybe score himself another 200 manpower and 30 fuel. Gonna go for that section. Ooh, that's gonna be dangerous for the assault group here. Marder, they're being up into tank sections. They're moving up to block any advance there. So he did not get the second Crusader tank here. Would have been pretty great for Calyon if he could have done that, but clearly that was not to be. Soldiers into their tank stage, got the Marders there hauling back towards friendly lines. And as all this is happening in the south, DarkAlric that hits the fuel point right next here to Calyon's base section, being ripped apart by two assault grenadier sections here. And there you go, that could be another up here in DarkAlric. Losses are starting to pile up, quite frankly. At this point, we're also not seeing any additional Crusader tanks like these either starting for the Churchills or the Churchill Black Prince.
A victory point is being taken from us.
Assault grenadiers, they're heavily dinged up, but some of them are actually starting to get towards Vastly Free, which is obviously really good if they can get there. For up north here, we got Panzer Pierce the Sapper, just heavy losses there on both sides. There's so many flamethrowers are just unleashed. There you go, using the smoke grenade here to deny the section's easy line to fire here to the assault grenadiers. But we do get rifle grenades into the smoke here. Sharp counter-response here with DarkAlric. And this does force counters abandon the south. We got the Panzer Storm unlocked. The Marders, meanwhile, continue to be repaired here as they continue to take a lot of damage from the British, who are unsurprisingly really keen on destroying these. Heading northwards here with the Panzer Pioneer there. Got 199 versus 356.
Repairs completed. The enemy holds all victory points. Launch a counterattack at once.
So there we go.
Enemy forces have claimed our sector.
Sexman on the center here. Or perhaps heading northwards. Got another Stuke D there for Calyon. Marder platoon on the move again. Punch moves to the section. Got the section flanking there. Calyon taking no chances. Even if they don't have anti-tank rifles right now, they could still get it very easily. And in which case, Calyon can then quickly lose his Marders. Which would be very bad news for him. You want to send their section forces moving forwards here. Marders falling back before they get splattered out here. Panzer Pioneer, they're fighting from inside the building and from the top of the roof there. You know, I can't help but feel it's a bit concerning to use Flammenwerfers from inside a house. Oh, don't be such a baby. Just look at the Englishmen burning out and dying horribly. Cell, I'm sure, will calm down your fears. They're just absolutely amazing flamethrower animations. Anyways, flamethrower animations besides, we've got the Crusader anti-aircraft tank on the move again here with its Bofors anti-aircraft gun, which would also see... Well, the Bofors will also service with the Axes and Aces, specifically the minor ones. Particularly the Hungarians would actually have an anti-aircraft tank of their own based off the Swedish Landsverk 2. Soldiers being forward here, very close to the ace level. Marders repositioning again to the Stuke D, backing them up now. So they're ripping into the assault grenades with each machine. There you go, they do hit the ace level and actually gain a bit of extra health here, but there you go. About to go back up the Crusader tank here. Marders firing back here, and down to just one poor soul here who somehow managed to survive that massacre. Calyon and the 10th Panzer Division pushes forwards here, right into the midst here of the British forces. Marders, Stuke D here forming up a strong armoured fist here, punching right through DarkAlric's here southern front, forcing it to withdraw for now. Brief considering there, a Octocart there, but that was clearly a misclick as he pushes for another Stuke D to help deal with all these infantry sections with anti-tank rifles, since an Octocart against all these anti-tank rifles it would just be a waste of resources, honestly. This is pretty much, by the way, why you pretty much always get, you know, Octocart, or I mean not Octocarts, but Stuke Ds out of the DAK if they encounter the British, because it's really your best bet against all these anti-tank rifle sections. I mean, you can get away with Panther Freeze, but just the Stuke D is comparatively so much more cost efficient and easier to get. And there we go. The Black Prince has arrived here with a 17-pounder gun. Be a real headache here for Calyon. More troops pouring into the centre here as the British forces are looking to claim the centre here from the Germans. He's told it. But the Stuke D is making this an awfully risky proposition here for DarkAlric. His men are dying in their droves, staining the sands red with their blood. In the centre, Panzer Pioneer pushing forwards here. Leading another successful assault here for Deutschland. But we got the Crusader tank moving forwards here, veterans too. And we got the Black Prince, they're hauling forwards. Already starting a bit of experience thanks to that training upgrade there. And there you go, Marders on the move here, going for that Crusader tank. And we got Panzerstorm rather than Battlefield Salvage. There you go, that Crusader tank is now nothing but a blazing ruin, but the Marders are going to be charging straight into the Black Prince. First one goes up in flames, second Marder there, or getting pelted with anti-tank rifles and anti-tank grenades. That's 2 Martyrs within less than half a minute, just ablaze, and the third Marder there explodes as well. A huge blow here to Calyon. His entire tank destroyer wing just got sundered in basically a span of a minute. A huge blow here to Calyon. We do get smoke grenades here to try and cover the retreat of the Stukes, and hopefully the assault grenadiers. But he currently has no way of damaging the Black Prince. Talk about a reversal. Like, he was, pushing back, making a comeback after another, rough 21st minutes, and then a single Black Prince is just all in flames. Quickly, of course, replacing the losses with more Marders, because that's pretty much his best bet. I mean, in theory, could try and buy time, go for the Panzer Mid Command, maybe go for Flak 36, but in current circumstances, makes a lot more sense to just go for Marders. You got 152 94 here, Stuke D moving forwards. At this point, it's either Stuke anti-tank loader or the Stuke dive bomb here. Black Prince once more on the move here. Far up north here, anti-tank section. There is the Panzer Pioneer with a flying Alpha.
Oh, those are coming close. Don't let them infantry close the gap.
Penetrating the Stuke D from the anti-tank rifle. What looks of it, got another Marder out here. And we got what looks to be some air recons here from DarkAlric. Yes, indeed. Marking targets here to make them even easier to kill for the Black Prince. And there you go, almost one-shots the Marder. And the Stuke... Oh, got him, Himmel! The Panzer Pioneer and the Stuke D got knocked out because all on top of a mine. Oh, no. That's a big blow there for Calyon. An excellent kill there for the Black Prince. Now the Marder on the way there. He needs as many Marders as he can get here as the Black Prince. Far up north, he's fighting for the northern victory point. He continues to go away here, and it's not going well here for DarkAlric. His men are getting scorched and left like nothing but crisps in the sands. Black Prince trying to the assault guns to the south. They're going for the southern victory point. He's down 105, 102 versus 293 here. The Black Prince is now a veterans here too. And of course, thinking about it, it gets more damage as well with the training as it veterans up. So like at veteran 3, it gets some like insane damage bonus, like 33% or something like that, or 30%. On top of its high rate of fire and everything. So typically, it's considered incredibly bad news for you as a German player if your opponent has a Black Prince at veteran 3 with training on it. And there, guys, think this could be the end here of this veteran 3 assault grenadiers. No! Holy smokes, he might get away! No! At the very edge of the range of the Sten gun, someone lands a shot in his back and kills him. Another Marder here for Calyon, rebuilding his Marder platoon here as the Black Prince moves forwards, lumbering through the lines of Calyon here. But at least Calion's able to exploit his heavy focus on the section of the Black Prince alters losses infantry to actually gain more control of the map here. But it's looking rough. There you go again. Marked out, of course, further enhances the damage of the Black Prince. And that's the second Stuke D. The munitions cooked off, incinerating the crew before the entire thing blows up. There's almost got the Black Prince here. Assault guns went flame. We got so many boys and tank rifles just littering the battlefield here. Third Marder ready here. He's going in for the kill. Could try and pop battlefield salvage, I guess. Black Prince shoots through the smoke. Misses. I almost got it. There we go. Battlefield Savage takes out the Black Prince. Gets himself a nice bit of salvage. A Marder down.
Marder tank destroyer knocked out.
That's it. At this point, I would argue the Black Prince had kind of himself in like 3 Marders dead, 2 Ds, countless infantrymen. That's pretty good. That's it. The issue right now for him is it does have a significant cooldown after you lose it to call it in. And this is kind of where we see a bit of a miss here in his strategy. Like, can't even replace it, he hasn't taken up, so he can't even say, like, you know, fill up the gap with other tanks, Crusader anti-aircraft tanks, which now there's all these Marders. It's not going to work out particularly well. So right here, DarkAlric has sort of just painted himself into a corner, betting everything on this Black Prince. And now, well, he's kind of left in a really bad place.
We've done what we can.
So,
Done what we can.
got the Mars that are being fixed. Two more Ds here for Calyon and the 10th Panzer to be shown here. Firmly looking to close the gaps in his lines. We've got 82 versus 249. Stu D rolling ahead. Marders there, good to go as well. Assault Grenadiers Panzer pinning forwards. Rifle Grenadier and the Panzer pinning up north here. Great shot there, killing 2 Panzer Pioneer, leaving the way open for the anti-tank section to rapidly move in to seize the northern victory point. South got the Stu D going for the section about the southern point. Immediately setting up bombarding them. Quick shot there. Marder's repositioning once more, dancing a bit about there in the now shattered fields. More sections. Not even safe for some of the foot guards, which would always be like a good addition versus both the infantry, the Marders, and the Stu Ds. Like, the foot guards are quite good, especially, you know, again, with those veterancy bonuses, they get even better with the training there. So it's a bit of a surprise again, and it's certainly a bit of a flaw there. They just didn't take up at any point. So you can say, like, the map control he's had, like, he must easily have the resources to still go for those things and afford the Black Prince. Got 65 is 240. Second Stu D ready. So forcing healing here for DarkAlric. His men now have certainly seen significantly better days. Got the soldiers in the section here. Stu D providing support here. Tank kind of section falling back here through the compound and quick being pursued by the Stu D in this open. You see Calyon wants them dead. He wants them taught. Another wave to hang northwards here. 64 to 31. Gonna get his Duke flanked though here. As DarkAlric pushes in more men. And there you go. East second Black Prince summoned forward to the battlefield here to give Calyon another severe bout of indigestion. One tank rifle in the Stu D. Sappers there almost obliterated. Veteran fleet 18 kills, 1 vehicle killer that. Marder, Stu D being prepared here for northern push. Panzer Pioneer advancing in the center to Sappers. Stu D there being swarmed with anti-tank grenades and anti-tank rifles. Meanwhile, the Black Prince continues its lonely journey to the front line. From north here, the Stu D is just in deep sauerkraut here, deploying smoke launchers to get it out of there. Black Prince rushes forwards. Marders, Panzer Pioneer moving in. Note, he keeps the Marders in reserve in case there's a Black Prince, so he doesn't just, you know, rush his Marders straight into it. Very judicious move there by Calyon. And there you go. Catches the Black Prince. Got air support called in, though there's an anti-tank section nearby, but it's clearly focused on the Stu Ds. Heavy damage inflicted on the Black Prince already. We got the Marders firing to the flank here. We got the Luftwaffe firing into the top armor here. Black Prince there scores a kill on a Marder, leaving Calyon there with just 1 Marder now to take on the Black Prince, but it's so heavily damaged. And the Luftwaffe finish off the job here, destroying the Black Prince. And with that, DarkAlric is now firmly dead in the desert here, with nothing left except a bunch of sections. And against an increasing number of Stu Ds, all hope is lost. So there you go, fierce fight here on the road to Tunis. A lot of back and forth here, a lot of armoured engagement, and a lot of Marder platoons that kind of went up in blazes of something resembling glory. And again, we can sort of see the power the British have with the sections and anti-tank rifles, even just into Crusader anti-aircraft tanks, and then into, you know, the Black Prince. But at the same time, you can counter it. It does run into some issues. They should just, you know, lack follow-up in case of, like, something goes wrong. Like, he lacked foot guards, he lacked additional tanks. And that does, I think, highlight the weakness of this strategy, though it does require, you know, a lot of Marders, as you might have noticed, to have a chance against it. Also, a nice highlight here, I think, of Battlefield South, which you do think is a bit of a underlooked ability at the moment, but I imagine it's going to become more popular as people realize, hang on, getting 200 manpower, 30 fuel for every vehicle kill is actually really, really good, which it is. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, and, you know, tell everyone you know about these glorious Propagandacast. Or you can also support Propagandacast by donating or pledge on Patreon. Links in the description. Or if you haven't bought the game, you can do so by the link in the comments using the promo code STUG3G. So thank you all for joining in, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.